believe. I said this once before, I'm going to say it again. One of the most important things you can do in anything you're doing is to believe. A lot of people have a hard time believing. And I have to tell you, like, I'm just going to tell you, like, my story. So, my story is growing up as the shyest girl in the room, I literally had to mindset march my way into a better space. I was hiding behind everything, I was hiding behind everyone. I didn't want to be seen, heard. I would literally not ring the bell on the bus and just keep riding and get off with the next person, walk back with my hands full of books and backpack on my back. And finally, I got to be, I don't know, in my mid 20s probably. Um, yeah, probably my mid to late 20s. And I just said, this is not going to work. Like, you got all these dreams and goals, and 100% none of it's coming to fruition if you don't get it together. So, and then to factor in, I was a single, never married mom, two kids. So I had my first at 26, my second at 29. And I knew for sure that if you do not figure out a way to believe in yourself and to step up and use your voice, none of it's going anywhere. So I did. I did a few things, and I'm going to share this again. I've shared it previously, but I'm going to share it again. So I did a few things. I took inventory of what happens in my body when I start to get into flight mode, right? So you either get to fight or flight mode. And I was like, usually I was going into flight mode where I wanted to hide, I wanted to go away. So I was like, what exactly happens? And I started thinking about it, and I'm like, well, first and foremost, like my palms maybe get sweaty. The most telling sign was I would get a knot in my stomach. Some people get headaches, some people get this thing where they get real uncomfortable. So their shoulders are just like, they get turtleish. And but overall, like we all go through things. Maybe it's tapping, right? Maybe when you get nervous, you're tapping your leg or you're fidgeting or whatever it is that you do when you start getting nervous about things, whether it's going into a presentation or an interview or whatever, when you start getting nervous, that is the time that you need to do step number two, which is sit down prior to all of this happening, create yourself a mantra. A mantra is anything that you can say to yourself over and over and over again that you fully believe in. It could be, I am the greatest. It could mean all things good are coming my way. It could mean, mine happened to be your excellent best, because I felt like that took the onus off me to be perfect or to be a certain thing. It was like, well, just be the excellent best you can be. Like, I mean, that's all you can do. So I pretty much picked that mantra. And when I would feel the knot in my stomach, that's when I would insert the mantra. And I would just say to myself, just be your excellent best, be your excellent best. And I would like walk through what I thought was fire. Okay. So that's number two, right? First and foremost, you're going to take an inventory of what happens when you feel like flighting on out of a place, or even when you feel like fighting. That's a whole different conversation. The third thing, right? So the second thing you're going to do is you're going to insert the mantra. The third thing that you want to do is you want to breathe. Take deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Probably don't want people to realize that's what you're doing. But whether you're in a job interview, the questioning is getting kind of hard, or a sales presentation, and they're like, oh, we didn't know it was going to be that expensive. That's my impression of some male decision maker that's like, oh, we didn't think it was going to be that high. Or they're just like, not giving you anything, right? So you kind of have to decide that you're going to take a deep breath and just breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and let some oxygen get to your brain, okay? Sometimes you can recap what someone said before answering the question to give yourself time to think. And you'll get to a point in some of these scenarios, right? Career, sales, whatever it is, leadership meetings, whatever it is, right? Where you start to know that if I just repeat what the person said and or ask them to repeat it, it'll give me just enough time to actually think and have a coherent, relevant, and impactful answer, which we don't always have, but that's the goal. Okay, so those are the three things that I did. The fourth thing, which I think a lot of people do, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So the fourth thing that I would do is I created an alter ego. And whenever I wanted to go walk into a door and cold call, right, back in the day when you actually cold called on the street, going into offices. If I wanted to go into an office or I was going into a sales presentation or a leadership meeting where I had to present something, I would just tell myself that I was going to be my alter ego. And my alter ego wasn't shy. My alter ego was not concerned. My alter ego was who I planned to be, expected to be, and was training to be in, like, let's say 3 years, 5 years. And for that reason, my alter ego showed up differently because I didn't feel like it was me. So you can, if you have any hesitation about your belief or who you are or who you need to be to actually make an impact in whatever you're doing, you literally could follow those 4 steps and you can very likely make more headway and you'll get further ahead because you've taken heed to like what's going on. Body, I think it's body, heart, soul. And those are some of the most important things that you can do. You can tell my voice is a little scratchy today. I've been on the phone and on Zoom calls, but I'm here to help if you need anything at all. I literally really want to support people trying to get from point A to point B, whether you're trying to start a business, start a sales position. That's my zone of genius. Get acclimated to AI. My overall goal is to make the complex simple and help with actionable, relevant steps that will support you getting to your goals. And so if you need anything at all, reach out, send a note, smoke signal. You can find me on most of the social media streets. And or there will be a link, there's a link in my profile that will get you to my website. So you can either send an email or even schedule some time to talk. Just know I'm rooting for you. If I can do it, you can do it. Stay inspired.